What's up YouTube, it's Louis here, hope you're all well. We're looking at Hbar today on the daily time frame, and we can see that finally our target has been met as predicted, but move for move, as we were explaining it day by day, everything was happening. So even as we were coming down here yesterday, I said, guys, realize that in the short term, you're actually going to bounce from here because there's a short term demand zone. We were going on the 4 hour and explaining that. You can see it on the daily time frame already. But yeah, we had a little fake out. We came back in, held it support. You found demand there in the future. And so, of course, when you come down there again, you're going to bounce from it in the short term. But because we have this descending triangle, when you bounce, it's a short term bounce. This is what I'm trying to get into everyone's heads on the Bitcoin updates. Make sure you check that out today, because there's a big, disgusting sign on the chart that is signaling that we could be going down. And this is the beginning, and we could be going down for months on end, weeks on end to months. So let's actually check out that video. Make sure you like, subscribe and comment, because there's less and less of you watching now. However, the signals that I'm giving out are actually panning out. Here we go. We see the descending triangle, and we were telling you step by step. Here we invalidated it. Here we validated and invalidated within a day. We were explaining that even though we pumped up into this, we were still expecting us to roll over and continue to these targets. But yeah, very nice that this has actually panned out. And if you took this trade, do let me know in the comment section below. To your haters, you can F off, because there were so many people hating in the chat, but we don't care. We're going to push through, and we're going to prove them wrong always, just as we've always done over the last year plus. And I have so many haters that eventually come around and say, Louis, I was a hater once and now I'm not. There's been over a handful of people that have actually done that. I've posted it all over my Twitter. And if you are interested in further information, then head over to my Twitter. I do post updates over there. And if you want a discount on my course or my mentorship, I have a 50% discount if you private message me. And yeah, that's over my Twitter. The link is underneath this video. Get this 50% discount, apply it to the course. If you want a mentorship, there's one slot left. It's not 50% off, still discounted. There's only one slot left, as someone is currently talking to me about one of the 2 slots. And then yeah, this will I won't be able to teach throughout December and Jan. But yeah, message me if you're interested in that. We'll continue with today's daily update, but thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe and comment. And so with this daily candle close, we're explaining this validates the pattern, but we need to realize that once we're given this candle, once it's shut, we need to make our judgments at the close. So it doesn't matter what time frame you're on. At the close, as soon as it's closed, that's the only thing we care about. Everything during the candle is nonsense. So because this is the daily time frame, everything during the day is nonsense, apart from the actual close. So what this candle has shown us, and this is I'll look at this one as a good example. This pushed up, right? And then for the beginning of the day, it went up. And then for the remaining hours of the day before the daily candle close, it closed back down here. So it's just showing you there was market manipulation, there was a rejection. So yeah, all the retail traders were like, yes, we're finally above the 382 fib. We had daily candle close here. Or they wouldn't even understand that, but yes, we're above the 382 fib. We're going to the 050. Let's put in our buy orders. But no, it was during the day. You need to wait for the end of the day. For me, that's at midnight GMT. I think in America, or at least PST, it's about 2. I might be wrong. Please don't kill me. But yeah, I think it's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Unfortunately for you guys, just work out from midnight GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, whatever you call it. And so from here, yeah, that's a sell signal. So with this descending triangle, we close below. We have a wick. This is showing me that actually, before the daily candle close, the bulls did step in. So you need to understand that from this wick. Because now if we go to the 4 hour time frame, we look over there, we can see a doji had occurred over here. Now this is usually a sign of at least a short-term reversal in this case, because if we look to the left and we drag this box to the left, you can see this area had some previous support. Can you see it? Wicks as support, then you have a little resistance, you came back down, and then you pushed through, pushed under, resistance, pushed through, support. So when we printed a doji at this previous location, it's a sign of a reversal in the short term. And so that's why when we go back to the daily time frame, that's what this wick is essentially saying. I was down here, I didn't like being down here before the end of the day. So although we validated this bearish pattern, it was telling you, okay, but before the end of the day, you need to realize we started creeping back up. Maybe we'll see that at the beginning of the next day. And then, yeah, we started going up and eventually running back into the descending triangle's resistance. Although we reclaimed the neckline and for that moment invalidated the pattern's target lower, you need to realize you're still within this bearish pattern. So although you went back into it, the expectation is before we get to the apex, and all the apex is where the neckline of the pattern meets the resistance of the pattern, in this case because it's a descending triangle, and where they meet, see here, the 22nd of December, we at least know we'll get a decision up or down before here. In this case, because it's a descending triangle, it has higher probability chances, like over 2/3 chance of going down, because it's a bearish pattern. It has a 1/3 chance of actually going up, but in this case it shows down because the longer term trend is down, because we made a lower low. And of course, with a lower low, the expectation is when you come up, that's a false move, that's market manipulation. It's a bull trap, and that's what we've been telling you guys on the channel for so long, and we're just having less and less views. So this is why I urge you all to help with the channel out by sharing these videos, liking, subscribing, and definitely commenting. Make sure you turn the notification bell on, especially if you're a channel member. We have early access to the videos, but make sure you turn the notification bell on YouTube, but also on the actual settings of your phone, because people are paying for it but they're not even watching it. So I guess it's not coming up, the notifications. It's actually telling me that as well. So even if you're not a member, make sure you turn them on so you know when the video is coming out, because this is all time sensitive, guys, especially if I am going to the lower time frames. Now, I decided to turn off the drawings because you can see it's just following the EMAs. We're below the EMAs right over here. So that's a signal to come back to here and lose them. But we were being held up. We had some fake outs, but we were being held up by this wick. Can you see that? Right there. And then we formed another descending triangle, this being your neckline right here, and this descending resistance. And we were actually breaking out bullish, which is not what should really be happening. And you're about to form a bullish cross, but that was invalidated by having this fake out over here, and this is called an EMA repel. You see how they nearly crossed over but they didn't, so that creates a slingshot action, an EMA repel. You continue in the trend you're in. It happened here as well. You're almost about to cross over, it didn't, so you get thrown all the way back down. So you should get thrown down, and essentially you haven't done an EMA repel here, but you never got above the 20. You did, and I remember very specifically on that day, on this red candles day, I said that, my friend, is not good. That's not a good signal, because now you're coming down to the descending triangle support. Let's zoom in now again. You're coming down to the descending triangle support over here, and that will act as a short-term support, but you're going to run back into either the purple line here or the 20 EMA. We were using the 20 EMA, so go and do so when you're using your trend lines or support and resistances. Understand that if the 20 EMA starts to come down below your resistance, use where the 20 EMA is. What I mean by, can you see the golden pocket over here, 050? You see the 55 now come below. So if we, from this point, started heading up, you can see it would have tapped the golden pocket about there, in line with the 55. But if I come up to that same price now, the golden pocket, you see the 55's under, I wouldn't get to the golden pocket because this is in my way. So we just need to follow the EMAs, right? And then look what it's telling you. We've failed, guys. We've absolutely failed. We're coming back down to this demand zone, and we're going to go into a bit more detail on this demand zone because, of course, the target was met of the descending triangle. I really hope you took this. If not, next time I call out something on Hbar or Quant or whatever videos you're tuning into, again, make sure you are following the Bitcoin, because all the clues was on Bitcoin, guys. And there's further clues today on Bitcoin and what's going on tomorrow and the weeks following. So make sure you're tuning in, and that will give you a much clearer picture of Hbar. Okay, Bitcoin's bearish or Bitcoin's bullish, same thing for Hbar, and maybe the signs are actually coming up a little bit early on Bitcoin, to be honest, and because it's the mothership, always remember that. So over here we were explaining yesterday how we were finding support. So as we were coming down, I said, understand this is a key area of support in the short term, so we will bounce in the short term. We did, but again, still within this descending triangle, so the expectation is eventually you're going to roll over. And so eventually we got that. Because we tested it already, it sort of hasn't really worked out. It did here, but the only reason you actually closed up here again is because you went through it and you hit the next demand zone below it, and so that's why you spiked back up, but only short term. When we go down to the lower time frames, it doesn't really look like you held support here. Although that might look like a spinning top for you, it's looking like a hanging man because this wick needs to get filled. What do I say when we see big wicks within a downtrend like that? Within a downtrend, you want to fill them in, because we're in a downtrend, we want to continue lower. I tested that area, I effed off. Let me go through that level now, break through it, and then we can see this on the 4-hour time frame. So yeah, we saw some bullish candlesticks, and that's what would have been tricking a lot of people. We're in the downtrend, so we don't want to be trading the bullish candlesticks. We want to look for sell signals, and they're another hanging man at resistance. You might think that's a spinning top. My friend, this is why you need to take on the mentorship or the course. I will make sure you know absolutely everything. The course has it all for you. Everything that I know and you hear in the videos and you see in the videos, that's what I teach you. And the mentorship is more personalized to maybe an already advanced trader. But of course, if you're new, that's totally fine as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's update. But again, because there's less of you tuning in, even though the TA is more on point than ever, I do ask if you could share, like, subscribe and comment. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you do want to take up on the discounts, 50% off on the course, that is over on my Twitter. The link is underneath this video. There's one more slot potentially on the mentorship course where I sit down with you over 10 lessons one-to-one. Message me for more details. And yeah, peace.